It's Chris, Liege Games. Now, I did one of these previously and you guys liked it, so let's talk about it again. Let's talk about what Gamefound has on the horizon. They just announced on their blog what's going to be coming up, sort of the bigger names, apart from, the obvious ones that are already out there. And they put out basically a media sheet on their blog where they just kind of run through the next sort of bigger upcoming ones, sort of to highlight things, which honestly is kind of nice and refreshing because especially for people like me who collate it on a weekly basis, not having to do that is really helpful. So let's break it down. Let's take a look just very briefly at all of these. What do you need to know? What is my thoughts on it? Let's just get you a little bit more caught up to speed on what's come out recently, especially now that we're sort of between Gen Con and Origins. So let's do this. So here it is. This is the Gamefound page, and they say major titles to warm up the fall. I mean, again, take that for what you will. Upcoming projects. Now, this was the big one. This is the biggest one on the lineup. This is Too Many Bones. Chip Theory Games' flagship, they're saying, standalone expansion, adding in more from basically everything else of their product line. And I'll be honest with you, for some reason, this one really seems to appeal to me. Now, the nice thing is they throw the link in right here, right? I mean, nice. Convenient. 25 days. It's launching, October 19, I believe, something like that. And there's not a whole lot on the page right now, but they talk about it, like I said, that they are pulling out all stops, additional 3 new gear locks, 40 waves of Daelore, new content and baddies for Undertow, Rage of Tyranny, Mixed Tyranny is going to be going in there, several additional surprises. A legendary thrilling send-off. So we'll see what it adds. Now, I guess the question is for someone like me who doesn't have anything, is some of this just going to be completely superfluous and we don't need it? If I don't have Rage of Tyranny, if I don't have 40 waves, and I just go in for Unbreakable, am I going to be getting a good value, or is a lot of this stuff really going to be rewarding their longtime fans? And I'm not, no faults, no hard feelings either way, but I'm curious because I've always liked the appeal of this game, but as a 1 to 2 player game, I really haven't been able to hit the table because it's more complex than something my wife is going to be able to easily pick up because of the way she prefers to learn. She prefers to just play. And with something like this, obviously you can't play. It means reading, studying, trying out, playing. It's not just like lay it out and just kind of see how it goes, right? So that's my biggest issue. But I mean, this looks awesome. Crossover loot pack, great. And there you go. That's it. That's all that's on the page. But you can click the countdown, you can get a follow and get the free gift. So again, worth mentioning from that side of things, what all are we going to see from them? And then the question is going to be, where do they go from here? Is it going to be more Cloudspire? Is it going to be more Burn Cycle? Is it going to be another new complete IP? I mean, we know Skyrim is coming out, right, from Chip Theory Games. That was the other previous big announcement. But we haven't any details on that side of things either. So are we going to see one more before the end of the year with them? Or is the next one going to be sort of Q1 of 2022? That'd be my guess, but who knows? Because this is sort of their flagship, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was able to be put out quicker and they had something else waiting in the wings as well that's been in longer development. Next up is Total War Rome, the board game. Again, something I'm not familiar with at all from a computer game side of things, but that's where it's coming from. It's a strategy video game. You're playing as one of the leaders of Rome, Carthage, Greece, or Gallo-Germania. So you're going up in sort of a Civ-esque game from PSC Games. PSC Games. I mean, you heard that name several times in the past year as well. Engine building war game. I mean, that's what it is. So let's take a look at this page as well. Total War Rome. I mean, again, up to 4 players. Fighting, recruiting armies, claiming territories. I don't know if there's anything on this page. Nope, there's not. So you can follow it. And that's the one thing I like about Gamefound with these is that you can follow already and they give you updates. So if the production or the creators want to put out updates to get people up to speed, you don't even have to be backing. That is one of the biggest upsides, I will say, of Gamefound over Kickstarter right now, is because otherwise I'm having to go to Kickstarter pages individually and wade through them and see where things are at, and having the ability to not back but get the updates is helpful. Now, if only they could actually send me the full update on my email instead of having to click in the email and go to the actual page. That's a whole nother thing. Let's talk about the next one though, Nightmare Cathedral. Again, I know nothing about this. The aesthetic is very interesting. It looks very horror-esque just on the surface. And okay, terror and horror on paintings transferred to a board game. From Board and Dice, a Polish painter famous for his dystopian surrealism. New nightmarish dimension to gameplay. Okay, so I don't actually know what we're doing based on that description though. So let's check it out. Okay, what do we got here on the page? Nightmare Cathedral, dystopian dream vision. So you got sort of the Etherfields vibes. Follow dream cards on the way to domination. Score points through the path of ritual. Action system to develop steps, but beware. The cathedral rises in the middle of the board. Physical manifestation of nightmares will be unleashed. Evade them or gain control of them to outmaneuver your opponents and control your opponents. So, area control, a little bit of take that. Yeah, area control right there. Didn't even see that. Horror theme. So again, very interesting, very intriguing to see how that manifests itself. How much that 3D element of the cathedral is actually going to be present, if they say it is going to be sort of there. But there's clearly the horror-esque 3D miniatures, which honestly I don't really like. I kind of wish those weren't as grotesque. Anyway, but that's just me. But there you go. There's another one that is completely different from that side of things that's going to be launching soon. Or soonish. There's no actual date on this one. Then let's go back down in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Video game, again, video game ports. If in case you missed it, I've been preaching this all along. Video game ports. Now we're seeing it all with Board Cubator. They're doing, now this is interesting. You need to know about this. App-driven, cooperative campaign game. You're going in the conflict between the Crusades and the Hussites. So now if you go to the actual page, there's absolutely nothing on this page, but it links you to the Board Game Geek page, which has actually more information than either. Again, it says 1 to 4 player cooperative campaign app-driven game. Each campaign is completely unique, bringing you new locations, new people in each scenario. Living world that remembers, they're going to react, they're going to, remember behaviors, and the app is going to give you all the information you need from setup to teardown, sort of almost like it reminds me very much of Destinies, if you will. It gives me that vibe just off the surface. And again, no date, but Deliverance in terms of actual delivery date as well in 2023. So we'll kind of see where it goes. They have a Discord as well. So that's probably going to be more updated than this. So if you're really interested in this IP, follow it and probably go to the Discord. Let's see. We got Tiles of Arabian Nights. I talked about that in the last roundup. This is currently running on Gamefound, and this is Holy Grail Games. This is sort of a combination of Tales of Arabian Nights and tile laying, where you're picking them up and collecting them sort of in sets-ish to improve your caravan, to bring these tiles to the Sultan in Baghdad, to then tell a tale, which is really a weird, unique mechanic where other players are going to be scoring how good your tale is to give you victory points. So if that interests you, I mean, check it out right now. But also, it's very distinct. If you're one of the first 1,000 backers, they're giving deluxe upgrades of wooden pieces that you can see right here for those people in that range. Pachamama, here's the next one. I have no idea about this one. Again, you are I'm going to mispronounce this. You are these folks as they roam the land in search of fertile soil. So you're developing, exploring new regions according to the culture and guidance of the Andean goddess representing Mother Earth. Multiple scenarios, different every time, it says. Again, following this is one that I could actually see myself semi-liking. 25 days as well, so that is at the same day as the Chip Theory games. It looks like it might be. Crops though, I mean, just crops and farming just are not a big thing for me. But this page has everything. So if you want to check this one out, they have everything right now on here. Looks like also, if you skim to the left side here, they have a play at Essenspiel. So if you're going to Essen next month, you'll be able to get it from that side of things and get a hands-on demo there. And what do they think in terms of June, actually? Okay. So beautiful wooden looking pieces here. Board that is there. Let's see. These are all social stretch goals. I'm sort of going in reverse here. They've already got the rulebook up here. So if you really want to know a lot about this, I think I'll be checking this rulebook out shortly after this video to see. And looks like they're going to have some exclusive stretch goals for Gamefound, and 2 replayable scenario discs for Gamefound backers as well. Or 1 extra too if you're following already. So there you go. Why get it now? And this is by the people who made Magic Maze and Dive. So again, kind of an interesting take, interesting theme of things. And we'll see what it entails when we get some actual video up here. I'll probably look at the rulebook though, so take a little bit more of a breakdown. But anyway, bring it to your attention. Okay, what else we got here? Goldenstar, the Galactic tournament. This is the remake of Gindy's. They've chosen a different name. I forget the previous one. They had actually reached out to me via email, and I emailed them back saying, like, what were you interested in doing? Because initially they were interested in a paid preview, and I emailed them back saying, well, I don't really do paid previews, but can we do something else? And it just kind of has fallen through. So we'll kind of see what they've gone to here. Now, I believe the first one around, though, was on Kickstarter. So It'll be interesting to see what difference they've done here. And this is in 11 days at this point. Asymmetric deck building, where you're basically PvPing. Again, different mechanics. It didn't fun the first time around. So, again, like I've said on my previous roundups, a lot of the stuff that hasn't funded this year, that's been higher concept like this, has funded the second or third time it's gone to table. So, I'd be interested to see what the goal is for this and what the revamps have really shown, because I'm not really sure. I don't really get a good sense of the deck building and the asymmetry here. I just didn't give it as deep a look last time, and that's why I was willing to talk with them previously. So we'll see. Deck builder, improving your arsenal. Description, self-described Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with Street Fighter. Okay, well, I know what both of those are, so I can picture that. Miniatures that they give a little bit of different stats to and skills to. And that's your asymmetry, at least starting. Expansion-wise, there you go as well. The miniatures that are going along with this and some of the cards that you're seeing. I mean, this looks cool. This gives me sort of the Twisted Fable vibe. And I say that in a good note, right? So the black market cards that are helping you upgrade, the trait cards. Again, it's like a lot of different ways to customize your character to go up head-to-head. So yeah, I'd be interested by this. I'd be interested to see what this does. Yeah. What the price point is, how it's changed. Yeah, totally. This is totally right up my alley. So especially as a 2-player game. Or even 3 or 4 if it's totally chaotic. Now, area control is a little bit less of my thing, but this looks very interesting. I'll be following this one pretty closely. What else we got up next? Bedeville Carnival. Don't fear the something. Okay. Ludo Ninja. Visit many of the carnival's locations, collect souvenirs, but the carnival owner and the gravedigger are always after you. Module board, different difficulties, and it's a different experience. So what are we doing here? Apart from looking at how much some of these other big ones have raised so far this year. Let's check this out. Okay, what do we got here? We got a decent sized page. Definitely a different aesthetic. We definitely haven't seen too much like this. Let's see, what do we got illustration-wise? 45 minutes. Okay, that's a different board. I was not expecting circular when it comes to that. These locations must be around the outside. And that's it. Never mind, just kidding. I have no idea how this changes. Now, if you head over to the Board Game Geek page, though, you can see that it says right in the description here, push your luck. And so then it's interesting because I don't get that from the other page. And they give you some of the backstory. Okay, so what are you actually doing? So you're visiting attractions. Doesn't matter how you ended up there. Each night you have to, feel alive again, essentially, because you're trying to not get put back in the grave, I guess. They can catch you, chase you back to the cemetery, but the game is played in successive player turns. You have to get the most joy markers and souvenirs sold in the booths. When all the souvenirs are sold to players, the game ends. Most victory points, obviously, wins. Pick your favorite undead. Draw attractions that your characters are going to move through. More and more, pressing your luck, I'm assuming, outsmarting the friends, using actions to attempt to get certain places and buy the souvenirs that you need. Okay, I need to see this one in action. This could be very interesting. It could be very difficult from a chaotic side of things. So either way, it's kind of cool. And then we get back to these three, and it just shows off some of the biggest raisers so far in the last 2021 of Gamefound. So there you go. So that's it. Gamefound roundup from the new announcements. Anything catch your fancy there? Anything that you're more interested in after seeing a few of these blurbs and pictures? Definitely a few have caught my eye, but I'm being super selective. I don't know about you this year. And that's, besides the whole shipping fiasco thing. I'm just being more selective this year in general. So it has to be, better than good. That's where my standard's at right now. There's lots of good games out there. I need something that's going to stay in my collection. So there you go. It's the roundup. What do you think? Let me know. Where are you at? As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking. If you made it this far, give me a subscription. That'd be awesome. Stay classy. I'll see you around.